Hi there, this is Lady Jana and welcome back to my channel. Today I do have a few things that I want to talk to you about or do with you. The first thing is I want to talk about this Giraffe. This is a Dollarama crochet kit that I purchased recently. I did do a short video on it, but I do have a few questions about the pattern of this, which is this pattern here. We will do a brief answering of my subscribers' question. I'm going to be teaching you how to increase and decrease stitches in a row. There's a few ways to decrease, so we'll go through that. And thirdly, we are going to crochet a sphere. I was able to find a free pattern online and I will share with you. So this is for anybody that is trying to do the Dollarama crochet kits. There's a few things I'd like to explain because I did have a few questions. One of my subscriber, Iriun Webcam 7616, asked me if I was using this pattern. Yes, I am. What I'd like to mention is that if you buy these kits, you can either have a pattern that looks like this, that you follow row by row, or something like this. See how different this is? This way is different than this. So for our giraffe pattern, we follow this, and this pattern is for the panda. All of the instructions on the other side, if you notice, it's all the same, the exact same thing. And there's a problem with this. So let's start with the panda. If you do the panda and you follow this, then on the other side, when it teaches you how to do this, there's a problem. The X, for this particular pattern, to skip a stitch, this is good. This is bad because you've got to pull through both. This is bad, and this is bad, and this is good. Because if you follow exactly the same thing, you're going to run out of yarn. Let me show you. The first time that I did the panda, I followed this exactly. I ran out of material. The second time I did it, because I did do it the second time, and I just did a single crochet. I did not run out of material, and this is the panda that it made. Look at the size. The stitch you use does matter. I did the panda and I did the frog, the exact same thing as this, and I ran out of material and my animals were a lot bigger. But your question is, am I following exactly this? No. If you're going to be doing the panda, keep this, but fix this. You have to go through both loops, and this is no good, and that's your stitch. And if you look at this correctly, this is a single crochet. It is a single crochet, so I don't know what's going on with this. If you're going to be doing the giraffe, because the giraffe instructions are different, when it comes to this, you're not going to be skipping. No skipping allowed. No skipping here. You are going to be going through both loops, and you're going to be forgetting this, and you're going to be doing that single crochet. I did follow exactly the same thing. I did fix a few stitches that were not correct. I mean, just a typo, I guess, or it didn't make sense. The next thing that I'm going to explain, how to add a stitch. Plus sign is to add a stitch. The minus sign is to remove stitches. So if we talk about row 11 means you start with your 24 stitches, which you did on row 10, but for row 11 you have to remove 4. At the end of row 11 you should have 20 left, or decrease stitches 4 times in that row. So the first thing I need to explain to you is how a stitch is made. A stitch is made of a front loop and a back loop. So when you make any stitches, you always go through the front and the back loop unless specified. So when you do your increase or decrease, you always go through both loops, again, unless specified. There is a reason why you would use either the front loop or the back loop, but this is for another day. Let's start by adding a stitch. Let's say that you're working, so this is my work, and I need to add a stitch into the next stitch. To add a stitch, you're going to do 2 single crochets, and that's going to be in the same, so you go back to the same hole, the same 2 loops, and you do your second stitch. This is how you add, and if you look at this carefully, you will notice that you do have 2 single crochets in one of the holes. It's possible that you'll have to increase using a double crochet, half double crochet, triple crochet. You just need to follow the instructions. One more thing, this could also be called a V-stitch. So let's talk about decreasing. There's 3 ways to decrease. The first way is to simply skip this and then go to the next, and then you do your single crochet. However, this will leave a hole. The second way is you're going to grab 2 stitches, both loops, 1 like this, and then go to the next, and then you're going to crochet them together. Let's do that again. So you grab first stitch, the second complete stitch, both loops, and then any type of stitches you can decrease or increase. You need to follow the instructions, the pattern. The reason why I'm showing you with single crochet is because it's easiest. The third one, which I prefer, it's called an invisible decrease. Decreasing using the front loops. Grab the first loop only, yo your yarn, go to the next, and then you complete your stitch. Let's do that again. Don't forget, this is the full stitch, and this loop is the front stitch. You only grab the front loop. Pull through, go to the next. Again, only grab the front loop and complete your stitch. Let's do that one more time. Front loop only, go through. Again, the next stitch, front loop only, go through, and complete your single crochet. So that is called an invisible decrease. This is a sphere we're going to be making today. The pattern of the sphere I did find free online. I will share the link with you in the description box so you guys can look at it. Now the pattern does contain a few things that is very, very important for us to understand how to do this. Firstly, we've got our abbreviations. The abbreviations will explain to us the stitches that we need to do and how to do them. So we've got first SC for single crochet, CH chain, increase, INC, this is increase. So this tells us that when we see INC, it means that we have to do 2 single crochet in the same stitch. And then we have DC. This is to do a single crochet to decrease. And when we see even, it's single crochet in each stitch around. And it gives us an example. Now, this is the pattern. There's several patterns on here. We're going to do the shorter one. These are all spheres. So this is a 10-row sphere. We have a 12-row sphere, a 16-row sphere, a 14-row sphere, an 18-row sphere. I will be using this cotton yarn. Any yarn can do. And the crochet hook that I'm using, this is a 4mm. Let's start with row number 1. First thing is a slip knot. So you're going to do a slip knot. This is how I do mine. Chain 2, 1, 2, and then it says to do 6 single crochet in the second chain from hook. The second chain from hook, this is the first chain and this is the second chain. So I'm going to do 6 single crochets. So this is 1. So in the same, go back, 2. So you just go around that stitch. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's make sure. So if we count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got our 6. Since we are working in a spiral, it's always better to place a stitch marker in the last stitch you just created. Also, it is a good idea to mark down the rows that you make. So at this moment, my row 1 is completed. So I'm going to use paper, pen, pencil, and just write 1. Row 1 is done. The next row tells us to increase in each stitch around. So in each of these 6 stitches that we just made, 6 single crochet, we're going to do 2, and in total we should end up with 12. So this is my first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then in 11, 12, where the stitch marker is. But I will still count just to make sure I didn't make a mistake. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Take my piece of paper and mark down 2 because my row 2 is done. Let's look at the next row. Row 3. 1, you're going to do a single crochet, increase I and C. On the next stitch, you do 2 single crochets. Then in the following stitches, you do 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitch. Then you increase the next stitch. The 2 stitches after you do 1 single crochet, you increase, do 2 single crochet, increase, 1 single crochet. This is how it looks like. So I do 1 single crochet. In the next I increase, which is I do 2. Then it says to do 2 single crochet, 1, 2. So 1, 2. And then I increase in the next single crochet. Then I do 2 single crochets. And then here I increase, 1, 2. Then again 2 single crochets. And then an increase. And the last thing I do is 1 single crochet in where my stitch marker is. If I did everything correctly, if I count, I should have 16. It says 16 right here. I should have 16. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Row 4, same situation. So we start with 3. So we're going to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then we increase. So this stitch, we do 2 single crochets in that stitch. And then we do 3 again. So 1, 2, 3, followed by an increase. I'm going to increase in the stitch. And then another 3, 1, 2, 3, then an increase. And then 3 again. 1, 2, 3, and we finish off with an increase. And that would be row 4. We should have 20 stitches. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Let's go to number 5. We're going to start with 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to follow by an increase. So we're going to increase into this stitch. And then we're going to do 10 single crochets or 10 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now it says to increase, so we're going to increase in the next stitch. And then it says to do 4 stitches, 4 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I should now have 22. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Row 6 is an even 22. So we just do 22 stitches, 22 single crochets. So let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. 6 rows done. This is the wrong side of the pattern, so I'm just going to flip it like this so the right side is facing me. Because remember, once I'm up a certain level, I'll have to stuff this. Row 7. Ooh, this is where we're going to start to decrease. 4 stitches. So let's go ahead and do the 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it says to decrease. Decrease. Grab this one, the next one, and you stitch them. And do the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we should have 20. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Row number 8. So it starts with a decrease right away. So decrease. So pick up the first stitch, go get the second stitch, and then stitch them together. Then it says to do 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. Then we have a decrease. Pick up the next stitch and then the other one, stitch them together, and then do another 3 stitches. 1, 2, and then 3 single crochets, another decrease, and then 3 single crochets, and then another decrease, and 3 single crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So that's our row 8. So we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yes, and we did it. We've got our 16. In row number 9, it tells us to do 1 single crochet, and then we decrease, and then we do 2 single crochets, and then we decrease, another 2 single crochets, and then we decrease, another 2, and we decrease, and the last single crochet is, and there we have it. So this should be 12. Let's count. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we did it. Also, we need to mark it down. Before doing row 10, we are going to stuff our sphere. I have some stuffing, so let's do that. A little bit more. It looks stuffed enough, but I just want to overstuff it, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so this looks good. I think we're ready to do row 10. Let's do that together. For row 10, we're going to do 4 times a single crochet followed by a decrease. Single crochet, and then our decrease. First one, single crochet, followed by our decrease. Again, single crochet, followed by our decrease. And for the last time, single crochet, and then our decrease. This is our sphere. The next step is to weave. We need to fasten off first. Then we weave loose ends through each stitch in the opening and we pull tightly close. And that's it. That's our sphere. The next sphere is the 12 row sphere. When I fasten off, I always do a slip stitch to the next stitch. It does not say this in the pattern, but that's what I like to do. And then I pull my thread through the loop and I tighten it. Using our needle, we're going to go through all of the stitches. And then we're going to pull close, like so, the best you can. Once it's closed, you're going to weave through your work so it doesn't show. And there you have it, your first sphere. Isn't this great? Isn't this cool? Also, it's a great practice to try all of the different sizes. So my suggestion would be to do the different spheres, use different yarns, use different size crochet hooks. I hope that you learned something with me today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and have yourself a great day. Take care. See you in the next video.